It's your host, Kiran Adibatla, the founder of Karuna-Yoga with Compassion. Part of sharing yoga with compassion involves understanding the hurdles people face. And sometimes those hurdles are internal, based on these preconceived notions or myths. I know this because I had my own. So today, while we explore some common myths about yoga, I want to start with one from my own past. I personally believed for years that yoga is just a gentle stretching for you older people. And this misconception was fueled by media portrayals and a fitness culture obsessed with high intensity everything. I wrongly assumed that yoga lacked the necessary oomph, and consequently, I spent considerable money and energy pursuing fitness in a way that left me feeling constantly drained and rather than energized, tired. Everything changed when I finally committed to trying yoga seriously. I was surprised by the strength required to hold a pose and the profound body awareness that cultivated through focusing on the breath. It wasn't always the same kind of intense sweat I associated with the gym, but I felt deeply worked, and both physically and mentally. This experience opened my eyes to an interesting perspective. While we often treat yoga primarily as physical exercise today, its traditional roots point towards its being fundamentally a mental meditative practice. Yoga in that context was more about training the mind. So while modern physical styles like Ashtanga or Vinyasa or even Hatha Yoga are certainly amazing and can have curative properties, viewing them solely as a fix for physical problems like knee pain or back pain, well, that's not the whole picture. This was explained very well by another renowned Ashtanga Yoga teacher, Adarsh Williams. He states, the primary goal of rock climbing is to ascend the face of the rock, not specifically to rehabilitate a bad back. However, climbing requires significant core strength, your pulling strength, and specific movements that engage the muscles supporting the spine. If someone has back issues related to weak core muscles or poor functional movement, the strength and improved movement patterns gained as a byproduct of learning to climb might indeed help their back feel better. But rock climbing isn't in itself typically prescribed as a back therapy. The goal is always to climb the rock. Any positive effect on the back is a secondary benefit, and sometimes poor climbing form could even potentially make things worse. Similarly, approaching yoga with the mindset that this is my moving meditation or this is a mental practice that happens to incorporate beneficial functional movement might align more closely with its origins. These styles undeniably build core strength, improve flexibility, and enhance body awareness, all of which can certainly help with issues like back pain or knee pain or obesity. However, the physical improvement can be seen as an accompanying the primary meditative or mindfulness aspect of the practice, rather than being its sole intended outcome. My personal journey shattered my initial myth. Yoga isn't just stretching for the elderly. It's a powerful practice for building strength, flexibility, balance, and mental clarity at any age. I realized I had wasted years chasing a narrow definition of real exercise, only to discover a more complete and sustainable power on the yoga mat. If you hold assumptions similar to my old ones, I encourage you to give yoga a genuine try. You might be amazed at what you find. Whether you're a seasoned yogi or someone curious about rolling out a mat for the first time, or even a skeptic, today's episode is for you. Today, we are diving deep into the swirling sea of misconceptions surrounding yoga. It's a practice that has exploded in popularity, and with that comes a lot of information, some accurate and some, well, Let's just say it's time to bust some myths. I'll be tackling some of the most common misunderstandings about yoga, separating fact from fiction, and hopefully inspiring you to approach this ancient practice with fresh perspective. I invite you to call in and share your initial beliefs and how they were proven wrong after you began your yoga journey. Our call number is 1877 Bali 92. Let's kick things off with a big one. You have to be flexible to do yoga. Perhaps the biggest hurdle people encounter when thinking about starting a yoga is the flexibility myth. We see images online or in studios of people folded into the seemingly impossible pretzel shapes and immediately think, well, that's definitely not for me. I can barely even touch my toes. But let's clear this up. Flexibility is a result of practicing yoga, not a requirement to begin. It's like thinking you need to be able to run a marathon before you can even start jogging around the block. Yoga is designed to meet you exactly where you are, guiding you on a journey of gradually opening, lengthening, and building awareness in your body. Scientific evidence supports this. For instance, in a 2016 study in the International Journal of Yoga, stated that even short periods of yoga practice significantly improved hamstring flexibility. Furthermore, a review in a Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine highlighted yoga's effectiveness in enhancing physical function and reducing pain for individuals with musculoskeletal issues, which are often related to inflexibility, by the way. So the practice itself helps build the very flexibility people worry they lack. Yoga is an extremely personal journey. While there might be a standard framework for poses like Vrikshasana, tree pose, the basic concept is standing on one leg like a tree. How each person practices it depends entirely on their individual abilities and where they are on their path that day. Every pose can be adjusted and modified. For those seeking a greater challenge, variations can be offered, while those needing a gentle approach can utilize modifications. In fact, people who start out feeling stiff often experience the most noticeable benefits, gaining range of motion and reducing discomfort. Again, in the words of Yogi Adarsh Williams, think of the most challenging yoga pose like in Mount Everest. The summit exists, it's an incredible achievement, but not everybody needs to climb it to benefit from spending time in the mountains. Similarly, mastering advanced yoga poses isn't a requirement to gain immense value from the practice. Yoga poses are also like clothing. Just as we don't wear all the same clothes, the way we practice pose isn't one size fits all. We try different variations and modifications. What feels right can change from person to person, day to day, influenced by factors like how you're feeling, your energy levels, the time of the month, full moon, no moon, or new moon in some traditions, our age, our current phase of our lives, our lifestyle. So please ditch the idea that you need to be a contortionist before stepping onto a yoga mat. Come exactly as you are. Yoga is about the process, not achieving perfection from day one. Moving on to myth number two, yoga is only for women. It's a it's a persistent myth that yoga is primarily for women. And where did this idea come from? While it's just a myth, it unfortunately reflects the reality in many studios today. Even in my own studio, a typical class of about 20 students, usually only 5 or 6 are men. We definitely need to shift from this perception. And the irony is that yoga's origins are deeply rooted in male traditions. Historically, practices were developed and foundational texts like Yoga Sutras of Patanjali were written by and for men, often within monastic settings aimed for spiritual liberation. At its core, yoga practice is entirely gender agnostic. I've personally led many classes for men who are active in gyms or sports, and frankly, they often exhibit significant tightness, particularly in areas like hips and hamstrings, areas where yoga can offer tremendous benefits. The advantages of yoga are universal human benefits. They don't discriminate based on gender. In fact, specific benefits for men have been noted in research. Studies published in sources like the Journal of Sexual Medicine has reported potential improvements in testosterone levels linked to yoga practice. Furthermore, the advantages of for male athletes, such as enhanced performance and injury prevention, are increasingly recognized with supporting research, which appeared in publications like the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research. Encouragingly, we are seeing a shift now. More and more men are discovering the incredible physical and mental advantages yoga offers. Whether they are seeking athletic gains or relief from the pressures of modern life, yoga is there for you. So, gentlemen, if you have been hesitant because you thought yoga wasn't for you, know that the practice welcomes you. The mat has a space for everyone. And maybe a few empowering warrior poses are awaiting you. If you've just joined us, you're listening to me, Kiran from Karuna-Yoga with Compassion. And today, we are busting some myths around our understanding of yoga. We're going to pause and take some calls. And I invite you to share your beliefs about yoga and how they were proven wrong after you began your journey. Or if you have any questions about generally your understanding of yoga, the number to call is 1877 Bali 92. I repeat, 1877 Bali 92. Let's tackle a misconception that often pops up in conversations about the physical practice. All yoga is the same. Imagine saying all forms of exercises are the same. You wouldn't lump weightlifting in with swimming, would you? Each offers a distinct experience and set of benefits. Similarly, the world of yoga is incredibly diverse. And thinking you've tried yoga after just one class is like trying a single swimming stroke and deciding you dislike all water sports. There are numerous yoga styles, each with its own unique focus, pace, and intensity. You have dynamic flowing styles like Ashtanga Vinyasa, linking breath and movement, often building heat and cardiovascular endurance. And then there is Hatha Yoga, frequently slower, more foundational, focusing on holding poses and understanding alignment. Restorative yoga uses props to support the body in gentle poses, held for extended periods, aiming for deep relaxation and nervous system regulation. Yin yoga targets deeper connective tissue with long held passive stretches. And this is truly just scratching the surface. The key is finding the right style or combination of styles for your individual needs and your preferences and the goals at that moment. Think about these scenarios, for example. Someone seeking a dynamic, challenging workout for stress relief through vigorous activities might thrive in an Ashtanga Vinyasa class due to its structure and intensity. However, if they walked into a restorative class expecting that, they might feel it's too slow for their current goal. Conversely, a person feeling stressed and tight, perhaps from desk work and looking for relaxation and gentle opening, might find deep relief in restorative or alignment based Iyengar class, or perhaps a gentle Hatha class. A fast paced Ashtanga class might feel overwhelming for their current needs. Beyond these immediate goals, our needs and what feels appropriate in our bodies can also evolve through different stages of life. Age can be another factor influencing the type of practice that meets feels more beneficial or even accessible. Although it's crucial to remember that individual health and fitness levels vary vastly within any age group. A younger adult, for example, in their 20s and 30s, might gravitate towards more physically demanding styles like Ashtanga Vinyasa, enjoying the challenge and energy. Their focus can be building peak strength and flexibility through balancing this with restorative or yin for recovery is also very valuable. General considerations such as learning in a safe environment, alignment, and prevent injury during your vigorous practice is important. Now, on the other hand, a middle aged adult in their 40s and 50s could find great benefit from balanced hatha classes to maintain strength, flexibility, and body awareness while managing their potential stiffness. And slower vinyasa flow might appeal, while yin becomes increasingly useful for joint health and releasing deeper tension. Stress reduction through restorative yoga can also be a priority. Considerations might include adapting poses for pre existing conditions and focusing on any sustainable movement. And when we talk about older adults, which are 60 plus, might find gentle yoga hatha, or which quote unquote specialized in, senior yoga or chair yoga for using chair for support, may be more suitable. The focus likely should be on maintaining mobility, improving balance, crucial for fall prevention, ensuring joint health, gentle strengthening, and restorative yoga offers accessible relaxation. And considerations often include safety, using of props for support, maintaining functional movement rather than pushing for extreme range of motion. The most important thing to point is that these scenarios are generalizations. They are illustrative, right? So you might feel highly active. You might find them very active individuals in their 70s practicing modified vinyasa. And while some people in their 20s might benefit most from regular, gentle, or restorative practices due to any health condition, or maybe it's just their personal preference. Your personal health history, energy levels on any given day, and the specific goals always matter more than assumptions based on age or single factor. The wonderful diversity of yoga means that there's likely a practice that fits you. Don't be discouraged if your first class wasn't a perfect match. Explore different styles, read class descriptions, talk to your teachers, and most importantly, listen to your own body. Finding what resonates is part of the journey. Here's a myth that touches on the spiritual aspect of the yoga, and that is yoga is a religion. This is a common misunderstanding, and it's important to clarify. While yoga has its roots in ancient Indian philosophy and spirituality, as outlined in the texts in Bhagavad Gita and the Yoga Sutras, it is not a religion in a traditional sense. It doesn't require adherence to a specific deity or a set of dogmas. Yoga is a practice, a discipline, a way of connecting with your body, breath, and mind. It can be a deeply personal and even spiritual experience for some, but it's entirely compatible with any religious belief or lack thereof. Many people of various faiths practice yoga and find it enhances their sense of well being and inner peace without conflicting with their religious principles. Think of the philosophical aspects of yoga, like mindfulness and compassion, as universal values that can complement any spiritual path. Organizations like the Interfaith Center of New York have highlighted that ways in which yoga can be integrated within the various faith traditions. You've tuned into your regular Sunday morning show, Karuna-Yoga with Compassion, and I'm your host, Kiran. And today we are busting some myths around the understanding of yoga. I invite you to call in and share your initial beliefs and how they were proven wrong after you began your yoga journey. Our call number is 1877 Bali 92. I repeat, 1877 Bali 92. So, finally, let's address a myth that sometimes leads to unnecessary pressure. You have to be able to do all the advanced poses. Social media can sometimes contribute to this misunderstanding or this misconception, which feeds all the feeds that we see filled with impressive inversions and complex arm balances. It feels like we are not doing the right yoga if you're not achieving those advanced levels. But the truth is, yoga is not about achieving a particular pose. It's about the journey and the process. The advanced poses are just one small aspect of the practice. Research on the benefits of yoga consistently highlight improvements in areas like stress reduction, mood regulation, your physical fitness, wide range of poses. They're not coming from most complex ones. They're really coming from foundational poses. There's an immense value in the foundational poses that simply present to your body. Don't let the Instagram yoga starts to intimidate you. Yoga practice is your own, and it's perfect, exactly as it is. Let's move on to a myth that sometimes impact how people approach their practice and their bodies. And that myth is you should push through the pain in yoga, the brute force yoga. This idea can be particularly harmful. While it's true that you might experience some sensations of stretching and effort in yoga, sharp or intense pain is usually a sign that something isn't right. Studies on yoga-related injuries, though relatively low overall, often point to overexertion as a contributing factor. The philosophy of yoga emphasizes ahimsa, which means non-violence, including non-violence towards yourself. Pushing through significant pain can lead to injury and set back your progress. It's crucial to listen to your body, respect its limits, and modify as needed. And we all move on to one little other myth, especially given its unique nature. Bikram yoga or hot yoga is beneficial and safe for everyone. You might have heard about the detoxifying benefits and increased flexibility taught by Bikram yoga, practiced in intensely heat rooms. While some individuals do find these benefits, the idea that it's universally safe and beneficial practice is a significant misconception. The extreme heat and humidity of a Bikram class, which is around 105 degrees Fahrenheit and 40% humidity, can pose risks, particularly for individuals with pre existing conditions like heart problems, respiratory issues, heat sensitivity, or other medical conditions. Research from organizations like American College of Sports Medicine highlights the importance of caution when exercising in extreme heat and potential for heat related illnesses. Bikram yoga is a specialized practice and is definitely not a one size fits all approach. Always consult your doctor. And there you have it, a few common yoga myths now thoroughly debunked. We hope this has provided even more clarity and encourages you to approach the diverse world of yoga with informed awareness. Remember, finding the right practice for you is a personal journey. Yoga is your journey, and it's unique and it's personal. Focus on what feels right for you, listen to your body, and don't let these common myths hold you back from experiencing the many benefits of yoga that has to offer. Until next time, remember to breathe, to connect, and to find your path to union. Namaste.